Imagine living your entire life on an island, looking at the endless ocean every single day, knowing deep inside that something beyond the horizon is calling your name, but being told that crossing the reef could cost you your life. Now imagine discovering that the only way to save your family, your home, and your entire people is to sail straight into the unknown. This is the story of Disney's live-action Moana, a breathtaking adventure filled with courage, ancient legends, powerful gods, and one unforgettable journey across the sea. But what begins as a simple voyage soon becomes something much bigger, because the ocean didn't choose Moana by accident. Our story begins on the peaceful island of Motunui, a paradise surrounded by crystal-clear water, lush forests, and towering mountains. Life here seems perfect. The villagers fish, they harvest coconuts, they celebrate together. Everything they need comes from the island itself. For generations, the people have followed one simple rule: never sail beyond the reef. To outsiders, it might sound like an ordinary safety rule, but to the people of Motunui, it's sacred. No one questions it, no one challenges it, because everyone believes that danger waits beyond the horizon. Everyone. Except one curious little girl. Even as a child, Moana is different. While other children play safely on the beach, she can't stop staring at the sea. The waves seem almost alive. They move toward her, almost as if they're inviting her closer. One day, something extraordinary happens. The ocean reaches out to her. Not with words, but with movement. The water parts beneath her tiny feet, almost as if it's introducing itself. For a brief moment, the impossible becomes reality. The ocean seems to recognize Moana, as if it has been waiting for her, as if it already knows her destiny. But before she can understand what's happening, the moment disappears, leaving only questions. Questions that will follow her for the rest of her life. Years pass. Moana grows into a brave, compassionate, and determined young woman. As the daughter of Chief Tui, everyone expects her to become the island's next leader. Her father begins teaching her everything she needs to know: how to protect the people, how to make wise decisions, how to preserve the traditions of Motunui. Moana genuinely cares about her people, but something never feels complete. Every time she stands near the shore, she feels the same pull she felt as a little girl. The ocean keeps calling, and every time she hears it, she finds herself wondering one thing: what lies beyond the reef? Chief Tui notices his daughter's growing curiosity. He doesn't simply forbid her from leaving. He warns her. Beyond the reef, he says, the sea becomes dangerous. The currents are unpredictable. The storms are unforgiving. Generations ago, people sailed into those waters and never returned. So he makes one thing perfectly clear: the ocean beyond the reef isn't our home. To him, protecting Moana means keeping her close. But sometimes, the people who love us most can also become the biggest obstacle to discovering who we're meant to be. Just as Moana begins accepting her responsibilities as the island's future chief, something changes. The coconut trees stop producing fruit. The fishing nets come back almost empty. The once abundant waters no longer provide enough food. The island that had always sustained its people is slowly beginning to fail. At first, everyone believes it's temporary, a bad season, nothing more. But the problem only grows worse. Soon, the villagers begin to realize something terrifying. If nothing changes, their home may not survive. And this mysterious disaster doesn't seem natural. It's as though something far beyond the island has thrown the entire ocean out of balance. Moana knows one thing: the answers aren't on the island. They're somewhere beyond the horizon. While everyone searches for solutions nearby, Moana feels herself being drawn back to the sea. The ocean isn't simply calling anymore. It's urging her to act. Every wave seems to whisper the same message: go. She doesn't fully understand why. She doesn't know what she'll find, or whether she'll ever return. But deep inside, she knows her destiny lies beyond the reef. And the journey that will change her life forever is finally about to begin. Moana has spent her entire life preparing to become a chief. But fate has something much bigger planned. Beyond the reef lies an ancient mystery, a legendary demigod, and a mission that could save or destroy everything she loves. But what happens after Moana finally leaves her island changes everything. And that's where our story truly begins. Moana finally makes the difficult decision to leave Motunui behind. As her canoe sails beyond the reef, the calm ocean suddenly turns violent. Massive waves crash around her, testing both her courage and her skills as a wayfinder. Just when it seems her journey is over, the ocean guides her toward an isolated island where she discovers the legendary demigod, Maui. But Maui has changed. Once proud and fearless, he has become trapped by guilt after an ancient mistake awakened a powerful force hidden deep within the ocean. At first, Maui refuses to help. He believes the world would be safer without him. But Moana refuses to give up. She reminds him that even heroes make mistakes, and true strength comes from fixing them. Reluctantly, Maui joins her voyage. Neither of them realizes that someone has been watching from the shadows. And what happens next changes everything. As Moana and Maui travel deeper into the unknown, they discover islands swallowed by darkness and villages abandoned long ago. An ancient guardian reveals the truth. The balance between humans, nature, and the spirits has been broken. The mysterious enemy isn't trying to destroy the ocean. It wants to erase hope itself. Moana begins to doubt whether she is truly the chosen wayfinder. Meanwhile, Maui loses his magical hook during a fierce battle against terrifying sea creatures. Without his greatest weapon, Maui is forced to rely on courage instead of strength. Just when victory seems impossible, Moana uncovers the final clue leading to the legendary Heart Shrine. But waiting there is the greatest challenge she has ever faced. As dawn breaks, Moana and Maui finally arrive at the hidden Heart Shrine, an ancient island that has remained concealed beneath the ocean for centuries. Unlike every place they've visited before, this island feels alive. The trees glow softly. The wind whispers forgotten songs. Even the ocean becomes completely still, as though the entire world is holding its breath. At the center of the island stands an enormous stone altar, protected by ancient carvings created by the first wayfinders. This is where the balance of the ocean was first created. But before Moana can reach it, the sea suddenly begins to tremble. Dark clouds gather overhead. The water rises into towering waves. Out of the storm emerges the ancient force responsible for the curse, a gigantic spirit born from fear, anger, and greed. Unlike ordinary monsters, this creature grows stronger whenever people lose hope. Every village that stopped believing, every sailor who gave in to fear, every broken promise has made it more powerful. Maui charges forward with everything he has left, even without the full power of his magical hook. For the first time, he fights not to prove he's the strongest, but to protect someone else. The battle is unlike anything they faced before. Lightning crashes across the sky. The ocean itself becomes a battlefield. Moana realizes something important. This enemy cannot simply be defeated with strength. It must be healed. Remembering everything she has learned throughout her journey, she walks toward the ancient spirit instead of attacking it. Everyone believes she's making a terrible mistake. Even Maui shouts for her to stop. But Moana keeps walking, step by step, without fear. She places the glowing heart onto the ancient altar. Instantly, a brilliant wave of light spreads across the ocean. The darkness begins to disappear. The terrifying spirit slowly transforms, revealing its true form, a lonely guardian that had been corrupted after centuries of being forgotten. The storm vanishes. The ocean becomes calm again once again. Across the Pacific, dying reefs begin to recover. Fish return to the waters. The islands flourish once more. Balance has finally been restored. Back in Motunui, the villagers watch as the sea changes before their eyes. The crops begin growing again. The reefs come alive. Chief Tui realizes his daughter didn't abandon her people. She saved them. When Moana finally returns home, she is welcomed not only as the next chief, but as the greatest wayfinder her people have ever known. Maui smiles proudly from the shore. For the first time in centuries, he understands that true greatness isn't measured by power or legendary stories. It's measured by the lives we change. As the sun sets, Moana looks toward the endless horizon one last time. The ocean gently forms a small wave around her feet, almost as if it's thanking her. She smiles, because she now knows the journey of a wayfinder never truly ends. There will always be new horizons to explore, new people to help, and new adventures waiting beyond the reef. Sometimes the greatest adventure isn't about discovering new places. It's about discovering the courage that has been inside us all along.